Hey witches, welcome to Busy, Gritty, Inked and Witchy, a magical living podcast for the busy witch. I'm Morgan, eclectic witch of almost 25 years, Avalon priestess, and busy witch. Here we'll talk all things witchy, from current metaphysical happenings to my busy witch tips and tricks, and everything in the in-between. This podcast is my personal journey, filled with my knowledge, opinions, and unique way of looking at the world. Join me as I weave the magical and the mundane in every episode.
Hello, hey witches, welcome back to Busy, Gritty, Inked and Witchy. I am Morgan. And today I am joined by two of the most perfect guests ever, at least in my personal opinion.
I cannot believe it.
I actually have my kids here with me today, so I would like to introduce everyone to my daughter Skylar.
Hello.
And my son Gabriel.
But yes, I took a little bit of time off.
So as a little bit of a listener beware, I have no fucking clue what's going to happen today. My daughter is in town, and I was like, hey, I want you all to be on my podcast. So,
started in June and
we're
July.
supposed to be talking about what it was like growing up with a witchy mom.
Got some new stuff going on the website.
I don't know if that's what will actually happen today.
Break so that I could revamp the podcast just a little bit.
So, just as a little bit of background to get us started. Number one, my kids are 21. My daughter's 21, and my son is
I'm going to do a Q&A
almost 19.
Today. So, a few... Oh my gosh,
two adults here today. And my daughter, how many years ago you moved?
On Instagram and
I
my
moved
stories,
in 2021, so it's a little over 2 years now.
And I got some really great
So she moved away to a different state to follow a boy.
Covering some of them today,
which is what I did at 18.
To shove all into one episode.
It's
but
okay
I will be doing some of them today. And do you like this kind of thing?
I got married first and then moved away. But Skylar is actually getting married.
No numbers, no underscores, no
December.
Weird spellings.
Yeah, so she's in town right now to do wedding dress shopping. And just hang out.
Go to a concert.
They are
going to a concert too.
Just straight out Inked Goddess Creations. That's where you'll find me everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's me. So. But yeah, I do question Gabe in the stories every once in a while.
So
for future episodes.
That's why she's in town. And
that's what we're doing
Gabe is almost 19.
I have 3 questions
He's still with us.
that I wanted to answer.
But I had everyone here. I'm so happy. And I was like, I would love to do a podcast episode. And then they showed up. And then I was like, oh shit, we're actually doing this. Okay,
so we're going to be here for maybe 15, 20 minutes.
All right, so there's your background. A little bit more background to go in front of this episode. Colin and I decided when we wanted to have kids that we were not going to push religion or spirituality on you all at all.
In fact,
that was at the time when we decided to have kids. Colin was a very angry atheist.
But as we get into the dark part of the year,
there's no higher power. There's nothing happens when you die.
Basically,
these are facts, is according to him. Over the years, especially working here, I think he's opened himself up to there is a higher power. Maybe he doesn't know what it is, but there is something bigger out there. But we decided to not raise either of you with any type of, we didn't want religion or spirituality shoved down your throat. So I don't know if that came across during your childhood.
Yeah, because you have Padre,
fear is a very powerful thing. So
previous
you're only as
atheist
strong as your
Mom
shadows.
The witch.
So
if
you have shadows that are keeping
that's
you from
kind
living
of
your
my
life
viewpoints on everything too.
Is voice in the back
I don't really believe in anything,
do this
but
because
if I'm really
you shouldn't do this
wanting something, I'll ask Mom for a certain rock that helps me get it,
only as strong
or a
as
candle,
your shadows.
or which colors
the more
are,
you shed light on
you
them,
know,
the more you bring
more
them
directed
to
towards
the surface,
this certain
the more
thing.
you acknowledge them, the more power you take back
Dax
from them.
needed a job here in Tucson so that we wouldn't move all the way to Utah. I was like,
your actions,
we need a candle.
So that's why
that helps them get a job
is so
here.
important. I do recommend, especially
Dax is her boyfriend, by the way.
From your past, I recommend therapy. I recommend therapy if you don't have trauma. I mean, I think we all have certain levels of trauma.
No, podcasts are weird because I told them, I was like, we're just going to talk,
every single
but we're going to be recording while we do it.
Therapy is amazing, and nowadays there are really amazing packages.
Did you feel like you had religion or spirituality or anything shoved down your throat when you were a kid, Gabe?
Especially if you do have trauma from your past.
It wasn't like shoved down my throat. It was just kind of,
going through it with a
I think there was maybe a little bit of pressure because you were so big into the spirituality stuff and all that.
So when you start to do shadow working, the easiest thing to do is
like
find
right now, I know that it's
yourself,
kind of a
what is a fear
just a choice.
or trigger
it's like
or
whatever I
something
feel.
that affects me.
Like I'll believe
so let's say you're
in
scrolling
whatever I
on
want to
social
believe
media
in,
and you see a post and immediately you're like, this is
so
fucking
there's
bullshit. And it's not
freedom.
something
horrible.
Like you ask a friend, like, hey, is this bullshit? And they're like,
anything
nah,
we had to do, even when you had static moon, it was like, okay, let's go to work with mom.
Yeah.
So that is a trigger
get in the back room and just play.
So when you have a fear or a trigger or
it wasn't like,
but it wasn't
she didn't like come, she's like, okay, I'm going to teach you about this and this because that's how it is.
Does
that's
this
exactly
cause an
how
emotional response?
The world works.
And really dive down in it. Like, does it piss you off because
and not
of
on
jealousy?
that side
I mean,
either.
honestly,
he didn't, like,
does it piss you off because it's just wrong? Well, why is it just wrong? And I'm using
there's nothing. Yeah, there was none of that.
You take that trigger, you take that
and we've
fear,
grown up with all sorts of
religion.
Like our favorite part of the family is
their
Christian,
body's way of telling you
mom's
something's
pagan.
Okay, they can be something's up good, something's up bad.
And then, Fadri's
when
atheist,
something happens and you have an emotional response to it, that's your first step.
I guess
okay, why
pointed
am I
directly
having this
in our direction. It was all just
okay. So as you start to dive
like y'all have been to church, y'all have both been to church.
Yeah, like we got a
see what comes out.
Taste
then
a good free sample of
one step further down. When does this start? When is the first time I can remember?
Both of y'all, believe it or not, have been involved in pagan rituals.
Or when is the first time I can remember?
I don't know.
This emotion.
Do you remember, Scott? Do you remember in England? I know you're a toddler.
You can do this in meditation.
Do you remember going to pagan rituals with me?
I remember the stones.
But some idea might pop into your head because physical reactions to emotions. They get in there and they.
That's all I remember.
The big rock.
So you can be like, the big rock. The first time
you remember
you
didn't go to Stonehenge with me though when we did the morning ritual. We drove by it.
No, I was there or something. And
you weren't there.
That will
you weren't there with me.
Did we explore Castle then?
When this
yes.
Okay, then that's what I remember.
We went to Bath as well with the stinky water.
Emotional reaction.
I don't know. I just remember Big Castle and I was on someone's back. Like
so powerful.
Oh. You're talking about Glastonbury tour.
And just to kind of share a little bit.
You remember that?
A little
That's my Avalon.
Would have been the 2-year
And you, of course, don't remember England because you were born in England.
Happened
no, I remember
it. And a month ago, I could not sleep.
I don't know if you know this, though. So you were born in November.
Horrible.
And the mood that I was a part of got together for group rituals every summer solstice and winter solstice.
Thinking about everything
when you were
I had to do,
less than a month old,
started with insomnia,
you were strapped to me in a baby carrier, and then I had my big purple cloak around both of us because it was England in December and it was fucking cold.
Traumatic event that happened in our family.
You were part of the Yule ritual.
So 2 years ago,
and then they actually wrote into the Yule ritual for me to go around to every member, and they all blessed you.
So I didn't know what was going on
into the world.
In my mind, I was
so you have been blessed by about 25.
2 years ago,
eclectic
that
pagans
was imprinted on my
in England.
body, and
that's cool.
That trauma.
Yeah,
when's that going to kick in?
Okay, so that's why you do shadow working, and I will tell you that the minute
I don't think we did a lot of rituals and stuff. Not even when I owned
I haven't been able to
the brick and mortar store Static Moon years ago. We had like get-togethers and stuff.
Static Moon. I just remember the little Halloween festivals you put on the side.
My body still held on to it.
Parting the Veil festivals. That's what I called it. Parting the Veil festival.
I just remember the little cardboard witch houses that we put together for all the kids.
Or that easily of a you shine a light on it, it fixes itself. But for me, it was because
I don't remember that.
2 years of
no, we had a lot of we did Parting the Veil a couple of years.
That's what you're doing.
And we would have a little table set up for kids to do things like little crafts and stuff.
Shedding light
I remember
and that gets the ball rolling on healing and taking back your power from that scenario or that shadow.
Well, I didn't have any weird. Actually, I think the only thing that you've told me over the years is that I used to have the naked witch statues all over the house.
And
they were
really emotionally
the sexy witch.
Out of you.
And Skylar told me one day, like, Mom, that's not normal.
When is the first
I
time
have naked statues everywhere.
When did this
they're
start?
Sexy witches.
How did this start?
Yeah.
And
dressed in like lingerie.
No, that was weird because I would have friends over And they literally, like, they'd be a witch on a broom with, like, a hat, like a witch hat on, and like a black cat next to them and a cauldron. They're here, but they'd be topless.
They're wearing lingerie. They're still here. I have them here now.
Okay, maybe they weren't topless. Why did I remember this? Okay, basically,
there are definitely some that were topless.
As a kid, that looks, my mind is all like, oh my gosh, I should cover my eyes.
They're statues.
Now they're
made by witches for witches. Head to my store, inkgoddesscreations.com.
Because I decorated our house very witchy.
I just thought it was Halloween.
We also have the Ink Goddess Creations box, a monthly subscription of magic mail filled with exclusive items that fit a magical theme.
I think I will say now, looking back, especially now that your dad is...
So the second question I was
asked is, he would be agnostic is what the term is now.
I love this
believes that there is something, and
so
he's
I
done...
had to really think about it, because
he's done
there's so
spells with me. He's done magic with me over the years, but he's also seen me for 25 years manifesting shit out of nothing, you know, to where he's like, okay, there's something to this. So he's just become, and then especially when he came on here full time, he, you know, came on here at the business full time. He really started to have, he was like, okay, this is too many coincidences are happening, like, you know, with stuff like we set an intention and then we reach it, or we pull stuff out of our ass that seems to just manifest from nothing. But I will say now that he is here and he's not so much of an angry atheist. I do personally regret not doing fun things with you all as a kid, fun witchy things.
They started calling me a witch, and I said, you know what, if you're going to call me a witch, I might as well be one.
What is fun witchy to 7-year-olds?
That's the thing, is so we have, not to do a plug in the middle of a podcast episode, but like we have a Wee Witches line here at Ink Goddess Creations, and
I think is my favorite part.
It was developed so that people could share witchcraft with their kids in a very kid-friendly way. And the reason that I created it was because it was basically out of everything that I wanted to do with you all.
Yes.
As kids. Like, if I could go back and teach you all witchy things.
There's a comfort to it, because I felt
as children,
so weird,
it can be done in a very, you know, like earth, air, fire, water, spirit. Like, which one is north, which one's south, which one's east, which one's west, and the powers that the elements have. And you can call on air. Like, Gabe is a very creative, musical, artistic person, and that's the element of air. So you can call upon that when you need inspiration. Or when I finally had y'all's charts ran,
like, I'm an Aquarius,
literally earlier this year. I'm not a great astrology witch, so I just ran y'all's charts earlier this year. Like, Gabe's over here with like 5 or 6 planets and fire signs. Like, what does that mean? How can that help you with anger or expressing yourself, or, you know, things like that?
And while there
I don't remember your chart, Skylar. I remember that you and I, out of the 4 family members, you and I have the most divine masculine energy
was real and what
of everyone.
And that was it.
Which is something I wish I would have known earlier, or like paid attention to earlier, and then incorporated with you, because I think both of us could learn to be a little softer in life.
They had answers. The books had answers. They made sense to me. And so I immediately felt at home,
Skylar
and myself,
is
and probably myself for the first time. I was about 17, 16,
CNA or a critical care tech.
So probably the first time I'd ever
one
felt
of
like
Utah Hospital's emergency room.
That is what I love most
while
about
that
being
might
a witch.
sound
and
exciting,
my favorite part of being a witch,
you deal with
is
some
the ability
funny people.
To be myself. Have my
funny people. That's all I can say.
Have them make sense to me.
If nothing else, I wish, like, meditating. I wish I would have taught y'all how to chill the fuck out and meditate.
Well, even a lot of mainstream religions,
even when you tell me that now, well, you can't really teach a 5-year-old how to meditate.
Not 5. Like, I would have waited until y'all were like, you know, 13, 14 years old, and when you start going through all the hormone issues, you know, like ups and downs of that. I wish I would have taught you all how to ground and center your energy more.
You you've tried to teach me because I've been a very anxious mess for as long as I've known.
Guilt and
you've tried to teach me. It's just something I've never grasped, and I don't think I will ever grasp.
There's just a freedom with witchcraft and paganism that you don't find with
I wish you wouldn't have those regrets about wanting to teach us so early, because I don't think Gabe and I were the type to have engaged in that material.
It may have not gone the way that you think it would have.
You don't think y'all would be little witches running around now?
I made a list and realized, holy shit, I have a lot of ways.
I swear to God, I carried y'all for 10 months, each of you.
But I have more of Fondre.
Sprinkle black salt around the house perimeter, just a small amount.
We embrace who you are, but we don't know if it would
people,
have carried over to Gabe and I in our daily lives.
It's not like you didn't try. You definitely tried.
I thought it was cool. I still think it's cool, and I'm glad of what you've made it.
You don't have to make a salmon
and I might not transfer all of its traits to me.
That's freaking 2 inches thick.
I
sprinkle a little bit of black salt around your house.
This is a huge place.
The gaps metaphysically, energetically seal themselves in between grains of salt.
It's fine that it hasn't transferred over to Gabe and I.
It's
because
the
that's all you. That's what makes you
and anyway, black salt helps keep away nosy neighbors.
That's okay.
I don't know. I learned
so
that
as we went through, I did explore more things with you all as you got older
as well.
I think as you became teenagers and stuff like that. But I do know
little tiny
that we celebrated the Sabbaths, even if in fact it got to the point where
at each
y'all would come home from school or something, and I can't remember, but one of you asked me, why are you cooking today? And I'm like, it's Maybon.
They will mess it up.
Because I got to the point where I stopped cooking for a while, because I was just so, the business needed a lot of my attention, so Colin started doing a lot of the cooking. But if the kids came home or something and I was cooking, they knew that something was happening. It was Maybon or Beltane or something. And then I'd have to be like, okay, everyone needs to say what they're grateful for while we're eating.
Those corners might be like your garage.
Even Yule. So we know every year we're gonna write something we want to leave behind and something we want to grow into.
I do put down the last quartz point,
throw it into a fire. And I actually do try on that, because I'm like, I might be a skeptic.
I do it every time.
At least these things. I want to hurt actually.
The original charms too. I don't know if I have to go without saying that everything I refer to is always the original and not the remake.
Gabe's gone as far as we did the Lionsgate portal a few years ago.
I was not a fan. I have not.
Oh man, yeah. We wrote stuff down. We started a fire in August. Door, especially in the house, in our fireplace, not set our house.
So that could be the door from the garage or something.
And we did the Lionsgate portal thing,
an antique key
to try and tap into that energy.
Decorative keys as well that you buy at
I might not believe in everything that you have taught us over the years, because
in the home decor section.
That's just who I am. But I know of it because I did work for you for that year. So put some on a finger, did I tell you about my old resident
you can put it on the door
Utah,
frames, the window sills, all of that
she had purple hair and everything.
But these are all things that I
have
personally used for house protection.
And purple hair, and
there's also
she believed in everything that, all the witchy stuff. So I literally would bring her stuff that you sent me to Utah with, like the house blessing spray. She's like, I think there's evil in my room, and I was like, here. I got you. So I brought it to her, and she sprayed down her
I have a besom by my front door.
I dotted her doors with the house blessing oil.
That's the way I've always done it.
She wanted all that, so I at least know
online
of it.
A lot of people will hang them sideways.
So I gave my 7-year-old purple hair
they'll hang them sideways. But I always learned never to put a besom with the bristles down.
Meanwhile, I'll sit in Gabe's room with a singing bowl, and he just stares at me and I'm like, shh. I'm cleaning out the negative vibrations in your bedroom.
near the doors of the house. And then
I'm just get over with.
Yep, that's what I have for you all today. A quick episode. We're at the 20-minute mark, so not too bad.
Reactions to anything.
There's going to be some great things
over the years, as far as my witchy practices.
For the podcast. This break was very productive for me. And really reignited that flame that I have. This podcast
You're a man of many words, Gabe.
This is what I do for fun.
Many words.
Which is why it's been a little sporadic, but I do want to get more consistent for you all.
So what do you think y'all are going to do as far as your kids are concerned in the future?
And we're going to cover some really fun things.
I'm going to bring them to you, and you're going to be the pagan
So
can I teach my grandkids witchy shit?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yes!
I don't care. It'll be like, okay, you stay in the weekend at
to
Gima's.
share my knowledge, my tips, my opinions.
Grandma's. I don't know. We're gonna
call me. Yeah. No, we're fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, staying the night at a witchy grandma's house. Don't let her make you do anything weird.
Aww.
Too weird.
I'll send them back with their chakras aligned. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
See, okay. What about you? You're not gonna let me do witchy shit with my grandkids?
I'll let you do whatever you want. It's just a dilemma because, Daxon's family is Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And Dax carries some of those traits over, but he's like me, where he's like, does anything really exist? And then he goes to his family, he's like, well, church is a nice getaway at the same time. So
okay.
it might be what you and Dad did, where you're not going to force anything onto us, but like, if they want to come with him to church or something, or if they want to come with me to go perform spells on mean people, then we'll go to you.
We'll put bitches in jars. Mm-hmm. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I'm hearing, though, is that I get to be witchy grandma with my grandkids in the future.
That's fine.
Y'all heard it here. Look, this is documented and has gone out to the public. So in 10 years, if y'all are like, did you teach my kid how to do a banishing spell? Be like, I sure did. Why? Yep.
Yeah.
Dad, I want you teaching my kids. Be like, nope, look, we're going to go back to this episode of my podcast where you all gave me free range.
400 episodes ago, we will sort through it. What episode are you even on now?
This will be 102.
Okay, so we're talking like 800 episodes in the future.
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
All right, do you all have anything else? Any other tidbits of information or anything else coming to the surface that you want to share before we go?
I don't think so.
I like those animal gemstones. The gemstones that are shaped
carvings?
like... Yeah, carvings that are shaped like different animals.
The soapstone ones?
Yeah. Yeah, those are cool.
Those were the only highlight of y'all going to the... I feel like y'all went to the gym show with me. I drug y'all years.
For the ribbon fries and the animal carvings.
Because there was that one guy that had the big table.
Yeah.
And you had to, like, sort through them.
Yeah, I found some cool animals.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Yeah, I used to play with those when I was, like, 10, 8.
I didn't really get into anything until I was a teenager when we lived next to the mountain. That's when I had my own altar with... Pretty much I just like gemstones. I'm like Fadre.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that's about when we started Magic Mill, too. That was when we were a couple months into it. So that's when I started kind of understanding and embracing everything. But, yeah, as far as childhood goes, we're fine. Okay. We're just rolling with the punches. And, yeah.
And by the way, don't forget that you can get all your witchy needs at www.inkgoddesscreations.com.
Oh my gosh.
Don't forget to get that We Witches box. Only, how much is it?
They're about $20.
Only $19.99.
I don't know if that's... I don't do things in 99s.
If that's not true, then they're going to be like, that's false advertising. Don't say that. Take it back.
Only $20.
About $20.
It's not $19.99. Don't.
We don't know what exactly the price is.
About $20.
About.
Get one today.
All right. Well,
this was not paid advertising.
It's my podcast, and usually there's a little like a little commercial that goes in the middle. But when I have guests on, I usually put the commercial at the end that plugs my Ink Spirit Coven and the website. But I guess I don't have to do that this time.
You didn't have to work for that.
I didn't have to work. That's what I meant. Like, I had no idea what was going to happen when I asked you all to join me. But
Inked Goddess box starting at, is it still $25?
No, they're $35 with free shipping.
$35 per month.
Nice.
But you're getting everything for your witchy needs.
Oh my God. I swear I didn't prompt him to do this. No,
Don't go to. No, there's definitely a piece of paper that says to plug the business.
No. All right. Well, thank you all, both of you, for being on here today.
I feel like I'm going to remember more stuff now.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to prepare.
I know. I think I literally...
It was last minute.
Woke up this morning and was like, oh my God, I want my kids to be on my podcast this week.
Yeah,
I thought you had this planned for a few weeks.
Nope.
Okay.
Came to me this morning.
Well, even if it was a few weeks, you just told me this morning, so...
Yeah, no, I sprung it on y'all. I wanted it to be candid. I wanted it to be just us sitting here talking, and my podcast episodes are only 15 to 30 minutes anyway, so it fits right in there.
If anything I remember from my childhood, it's the incense smells. That's just been burned into my nostril hairs my entire life.
I love incense.
Yeah.
I do.
That and those little rubber masks you would always get for us, too. Did you have those in the shop?
Rubber masks? What are you going into now?
The costumes. You would get us a werewolf one and a cat
That was just a one-time thing.
Yeah, no, that was back at Static Moon. That's when I had...
Didn't you stock those then?
I did.
Okay, so it wasn't a one-time thing.
No, it was one time. I had a wholesaler that did movie prop quality costumes and body parts and stuff, and I really wanted to sell them for Samhain one year. So, yeah.
Did they sell?
Yeah, we sold. I think I had some wings or something left over, one pair of wings for ever. Yeah. But yeah, no, I do remember that.
I remember the masks. They smelled weird.
Well, that's because they were Halloween masks, but they were from a movie prop company who decided to make their stuff and sell it to the public.
Yeah, and I remember the shirts you had too.
I did used to sell shirts. Those were in my brick and mortar store.
And you had little private rooms where you would do tarot readings.
I did.
Yeah. So I remember a lot.
So yeah, my kids grew up in a witchy store that I had for a few years and a tattoo shop after that.
Yeah, we're from the hood, basically.
Yeah, when you're raised by or in a shop with a bunch of tattoo artists, vulgar tattoo artists.
Yeah. Wouldn't recommend.
Very open-minded.
No, they were cool though.
Very open-minded, though.
One was obsessed with pulling my loose teeth.
Yep.
Yeah. 3 of my baby teeth. He was like, let's do it.
That's weird. You should...
Look, I never liked to pull my own teeth. It grossed me out.
But that guy did, and that's weird.
He was Mom's best friend, so...
Well, it's Turner.
That's still really weird.
You know what? I've had so many people pull my teeth over the years. Hashtag winning.
Man, we got real off topic there.
I don't know why I thought about
tangent. That. So I had y'all thinking about your childhood and everything, so... Yeah.
Well, look, if there's anything I remember from the tattoo shop, it was how weird the people were, and how one of them really liked to pull my teeth. I would be like, look, I got a wiggly tooth, and he'd be like, let's do it. Let's go right now.
Yep.
It's like, okay, let's do it. Ugh. People used to pull out teeth. You know, that's a weird concept, that they would just you got a wiggly tooth, and you're like, okay, let's pull it out.
Let's wait for episode 2, where we talk about pulling teeth. We'll talk about this stuff.
All right. Yes. Thank you all, both of you, for joining me today and for choosing me as your mother, because that's what I believe. I believe that you all, as a soul, had a choice, and you chose to come into this life.
You or be with the Kardashians.
You could have been a Kardashian. That was your own choice.
I don't think I would have been able to find my family.
So, thank you all for being here with me today. And to my listeners, thank you for being here, for giving me a platform to share my knowledge and have my kids as special guests. So I hope you all enjoyed this today. All right. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.